Grace. Grace and mercy we easily forget about. Welcome to Lesson in Every Day. It is your host, LAT, and I am using this podcast platform to encourage you, inspire you, and hopefully share with you lessons I learned from my journey called life, to share with you on your journey and to help you on your journey called life. Well, let's get right into it. We're talking about grace. When you begin school, when you begin a new job, you have a grace period. A grace period to make mistakes, a grace period to learn from your mistakes, a grace period to mess up, a grace period to fall down, to get back up. So let's talk about it in the perspective of life. I believe we easily forget that God has grace on us each and every day. No matter what we do, no matter what we say, no matter how we think, no matter how we wake up, I believe we forget about grace, right? And I say that because we have to make sure and remember that we have to have grace upon ourselves and grace for others. There is no one perfect. Everyone is going to fall. Everyone is going to make mistakes. Do I encourage you to continue on, with repeated mistakes? No. Try to live and learn from it, right? That's life, living and learning. But what I do want to encourage you to do is have grace. Have grace for yourself. Have grace upon others, because you messed up, you fall down, you fall short, you stumble, and you got to have grace for yourself. You cannot be so hard on yourself thinking that you can be this perfect person living in this perfect world. It's impossible. It's unrealistic. Have grace on others. Just as we make mistakes, others do too. And a part of life, we get hurt sometimes. We get hurt by the ones we love. We get hurt by the ones we look up to. We get disappointed by those that we look up to, the ones that we love. It's all a part of life. But they're living too, and they're a living soul, and they have life, meaning we must share and show grace. So my encouragement to you today is to have a little grace. Put a little grace in your heart. Put a little grace in your mind, your soul, and just embrace that life presents lessons. And all we can do is learn from them. Don't get stuck in it, and don't get overwhelmed, and don't be so hard on yourself. But always know that it is lessons to be taught and lessons to learn. And we must learn from the lessons life teaches us, right? So stay encouraged, be encouraged, encourage someone else. And remember, have a little grace on yourself and others today. Put a little grace in your heart, share it, encourage someone, and just know that we all have those grace periods, right? And I don't want to say grace period because I feel like that's a time frame or putting a time limit on it. No, you should always have grace and show grace, because God is showing grace and mercy upon you and myself each and every day. So remember that today. Encourage others, and I hope this encourages you and remind you of grace. I love you. Be encouraged. Have a tremendous day and continue to smile, because your smile is beautiful. And plus, you may be the first and the last smile that is shared with someone today. Be blessed. It's your host, LAT.